See, I'm trying to piece this together, people. Based on the message, the voicemail from that attorney who had declined the case almost 2 months ago. She said something about contacting the clerk who was handling the case. So maybe it's whoever handled that original case, the emergency affidavit case, handles everything from that day forward. And maybe that person is fucking up. I'll have to ask the attorney today. Because I'm just lumping it all together and saying the court, the whole thing fucked up. But if people handle their individual cases, everything that comes in, just one person handles it. So I didn't know that. I don't know that for sure, but it sounds like it because the lawyer said, I've been in emails with the clerk handling the case. Okay? So if he or she is fucking up. Anyway, I'm going to tell the attorney to him, look, they dropped the ball big time. Whoever's handling this dropped the ball big time. And regardless of whether or not my aunt is sincere in her declaration that she intends to ask for this to be dismissed and whatnot, okay, my mom needs to have an attorney, period. And this needs to be postponed, period. Okay? They dropped the ball. They're scrambling around at the last minute to find my mom an attorney. They need to be held accountable. I'm going to say they're refusing to accept accountability here, lawyer. And I want to know what I can do. This needs to be postponed, period. Okay? Even if my aunt were not intending to ask for it all to be dismissed, it needs to be postponed. And on top of that, she requested it to be postponed a month ago. You get it? And I have all this proof. I can show the attorney all the stuff the man sent me, all the official stuff. I mean, like, my aunt requested this to be postponed. Why wasn't it a postponed, lawyer? And on top of that, they're scrambling around at the last minute. My mom needs to have a lawyer before this friggin' pretrial conference takes place. They dropped the ball big time. They need to be held accountable. This needs to be postponed. End of story. You know what I mean? The stakes are high now if my aunt isn't sincere. Oh, by the way, I hadn't done this ever, but I did... no, I did it before, that's right. I did this months ago. I did star 67 and called my mom's phone number, and it just it didn't allow to do voicemail or anything. It was, I don't know what it was. And now I called it, and so it's still active, and it's a prepaid phone, so you have to pay on it to make sure it's active. And it said, and the voicemail's full. See, I don't know if my mom is really all better or whatnot. She's good at pretending too. You know what I mean? She's good at pretending. I know before she wasn't able to even. She was doing bad. She couldn't even do her own voicemail, like listen to, like, get rid of the messages, or I don't know. But my aunt wouldn't say your mom's back to her formal good mental health if it wasn't true, I'm sure. And she wouldn't send me official stuff, motion to dismiss with the docket number and name, everything, allow not, blah, 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 right? If she wasn't intended to do that. This could be just one clerk who's not very good, who's messing up. I'm going to get to the bottom of it today, I hope. Again, any attorney can have an emergency and cancel, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. But I'm hoping to get to the bottom of this today. I'm hoping that attorney shows up, and I was like, I'm not here to go over all this other stuff. I saw 2 free attorneys in the past months, and, you know, they spoke with me for quite some time, each of them. This is something different. This has to do with these people. And for all I know, it could just be one person. The only reason I say that is because the lawyer left me a message, and she said, I've been, I've been emailing back and forth with the clerk handling this case, and you know, in the end, I went in today and brought in more paperwork, but you're my witness. I decline this case. And the other piece of the puzzle is 9 days after that, they confirmed, and I'm going to tell the attorney, they confirmed that she had declined this case, because the male attorney I saw walked in there and told me, yes, she declined the case. They're looking for another attorney for your mom. Call next week. And then suddenly, a couple weeks later, it's, she never officially done the case. We don't have paperwork. She's still on the case. Blah, blah, blah. You need to contact her. Blah, blah, blah. Blowing me off. Yeah, I'm pissed. Because they could have taken care of this before. Okay? Why did they say on the 15th that they were, then suddenly a couple weeks later it's that not? We could have already gotten this taken care of, and now they're scrambling around at the last minute to cover their own asses. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it and ask, what's my recourse? It wasn't as important before, but now it is. But it still was important on principle alone. I could say that to an attorney. It wasn't important before, but it was still important on principle. If you guys, if the court appoints my mom an attorney, wants my mom to have an attorney, she should have an attorney, period. Even if she's not contesting anything, even if whatever. It's just the principle of the thing. But now, things have changed. Now it's imperative my mom have an attorney. Now the stakes are high. See? It didn't matter as much before, but it still matters. You know what I mean? If they need to be held accountable, I'm going to tell this attorney, you know, they dropped the ball, they need to be held accountable. You want to talk to so-and-so, here's her number, call her. You know? I don't like this kind of shit. Again, I might be mentally ill, but I'm very smart and aware, and you know what I mean? And I don't like this kind of shit. And they dropped the ball, period. And my proof that they dropped the ball, I would never know any of this. But see, I still would have found out something was going on, because I still, even if I hadn't bumped into her and thought she was on, and wouldn't have known she declined the case or whatnot, I still, when I talked to that attorney, and I would have contacted her on the phone, like per him saying, and then she would have informed me. And then it just happened that I met her in person that day, and it happened to be that day she's declining the case. It just worked out that way. That's why she said, "You're my witness." Well, I just left her a message, "You're my witness." Because they refuse to accept accountability. They're scrambling around at the last minute, and they should have been looking for my mom, for an attorney over a month ago. See, people? Now that I just left her a message. But my aunt's going on vacation. Did she cut her vacation short to come back here for this friggin' stupid thing? It's not stupid. Or is it has been postponed and I haven't received paperwork. That's what I'm hoping. But I wouldn't know. You know, it's like, I don't think so, though, because to them, they wouldn't want any interim where, the judge wouldn't want any interim where my mom had no guardian or conservator, and you know what I mean? It's bullshit. So I feel like I'm just being like a ping pong ball or something, batted back and forth. I resign myself as it's happening, and now Auntie holds this little hope in front of me that she's going to have it dismissed, but meanwhile, they don't have an attorney for my mom, and we're running out of time, and you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And for all I know, because my mom changes with, Auntie Little, your mom's finally better again, could have been, she just sent that out. But my mom can seem better or whatever and then take a turn for the worse just like that. Man knows that. I feel like I'm just, and yeah, I am going to say that, attorney. I feel like I'm Alice down the rabbit hole, plunged into Wonderland hell. I'm disabled. I am not even remotely the scumbag my aunt made me out to be. This whole thing just is, as I've been immobilized by heartbreak, and with each new development, I've spiraled down into deeper depression. First things first. They dropped the ball big time. They need to be held accountable. They're scrambling around to find my mom a lawyer, then I'll explain that whole situation. Because I'm not there to talk to this attorney about the other stuff. I already spoke to 2 free attorneys, and you know what I mean? I'm there to concentrate on this lawyer thing. Period. But I have to, I can't just start with that. I have to give the lawyer some kind of background, Otherwise, the lawyer won't even know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to concentrate on this whole fiasco. They dropped the ball. They need to be held accountable. My aunt supposedly intends to ask for this to be dismissed, supposedly sent in paperwork already. But she also, over a month ago, sent in paperwork to have the pretrial conference postponed. Why wasn't it postponed, lawyer?